We all face obstacles, right? Big ones, small ones, they're just part of life. But what if there was an ancient tool, like a mental workout, designed specifically to help us focus our intention on just blowing past them? Well, today, we're diving into exactly that. It's called the Ganesha Stotram, and it's an incredibly powerful Sanskrit prayer.
Okay, so we're going to start with the opening verse in its original Sanskrit. And hey, even if you don't know the language, that's totally fine. The idea is that the sounds themselves, the vibrations, are considered sacred. They're meant to help focus your mind and create this sense of reverence. It's like the first step in tuning your own intention.
So what does that actually mean? Well, check this out. The prayer is painting this picture of just immense scale and power. I mean, the imagery here is totally cosmic. The curved trunk is said to represent Om, the primordial sound of creation itself, and his body, it shines with the brilliance of 1,000,000 suns. Just imagine that for a second.
And here it is. This is the core request. This is the whole point of the chant. After you've invoked this brilliant, powerful image, the plea is super simple and direct. Hey, remove all the obstacles from my path, always. It's a prayer for a smooth journey in whatever you're trying to do.
So, what exactly is this powerful chant? Let's dig into its origins and its proper name. Okay, so its full name is the Sankashta Nashanam Ganesha Stotram. And if you translate that from Sanskrit, it literally means the hymn to Ganesha which destroys all sorrows. And think about that for a moment. It's not just about removing, a roadblock in your project. It's also about the emotional and mental sorrows that can really weigh us down.
And that word stotram is actually really important here. See, it's not just a simple prayer. It's a very specific kind of hymn. Think of it like a structured song of praise that works by reciting all these different names and qualities and glories of a deity. The whole idea is to invoke their presence and their power.
And just so you know, this isn't some modern creation. Nope, the Stotram comes from the Narada Purana, which is one of the major Puranas. We're talking a huge collection of ancient Hindu scriptures packed with mythology and philosophy. So this chant is grounded not just in spirituality, but in a really deep, ancient historical tradition.
All right, next up, the hymn continues calling on Ganesha, and it kind of shows us the right way to approach, with respect before you ask for help. This verse, Pranamya Shira Sadevam Gauri Putram Vinayakam, it really builds on that opening we heard. It shifts the focus from just describing his form to actually acknowledging his family, his lineage, and paying direct respect.
So here's the cool part. This one verse is super layered. First, it's an act of physical humility. You're literally bowing your head. Second, it's an act of deep respect, right? You're specifically calling him the son of the goddess Gauri. And third, it carries a very clear intention. By remembering him this way, you're also praying for a long, purposeful life where you get your goals.
And that brings us to the absolute heart of the Stotram. We're talking about the recitation of 12 sacred names. Each one describes a different piece of Ganesha's form and power. Honestly, this is the real engine of the whole chant.
Okay, let's break him down. The first 4 names really ground us in his physical form, and each feature represents a specific kind of strength. First, you've got Vakratunda, the curved trunk, which is all about being able to navigate the winding paths of life. Then there's Ekadanta, the one tusk, which invokes the power to get past indecision and make clear choices. Krishna Pingaksha, the dark, piercing eyes, that's all about deep focus. And finally, Gajavaktara, the elephant face, which embodies incredible wisdom.
All right, the next 4 names, this is where we shift gears a bit. We're moving from physical features to his actual nature and power. So you have Lambodara, the large belly, which is said to contain entire universes, reminding us that we can digest all of life's experiences, good and bad. Then there's Vikata, the formidable one, which is like calling on your own inner strength to face a huge task. Now, Vignaraja is a really big one. He's not just the remover of obstacles, he's the king of obstacles. He commands them, which means he can help you turn challenges into opportunities. And last in this group is Dhumarvarna, the smoke-colored one, a reminder of a presence that's kind of mysterious and everywhere at once.
And now for the final 4 names, which really elevate him to this divine leadership status. We've got Balachandra, the one with the moon on his forehead, just like his father Shiva, which stands for mental clarity and peace. Then Vinayaka, the supreme leader, which is a call for us to take charge of our own lives. Ganapati, the Lord of the people, connects us back to our community and everyone around us. And we finish with Gajana, coming full circle back to the elephant face, the ultimate symbol of that profound wisdom where all these other qualities come from.
Okay, so why go through all the trouble of reciting these 12 names? What's in it for you? Well, the text gives a super clear answer in a section called the Falashruti, which literally translates to the fruits of hearing. It lays out the specific benefits you're promised if you do the recitation.
And the main promise is really direct and powerful. It says that chanting these 12 names 3 times a day, morning, noon, and evening, will remove not just the obstacles themselves, but even the fear you have about them. I mean, think about that. It's basically a practice for building inner confidence and setting yourself up for success in whatever you're doing.
And what's really interesting is how the benefits are tailored to what you're actually seeking. The text basically says whatever you desire, that's what you can get through this practice. So if you're a student, you gain knowledge. If you're looking for wealth, you gain wealth. If you're hoping for a child, you can gain a son. And for someone on a spiritual path, it can grant the ultimate goal, liberation or moksha.
The Stotram even lays out a timeline, which I find fascinating. It makes it clear that this isn't an instant fix, right? It's a dedicated practice. The text suggests that after about 6 months of doing it consistently, you'll start to see the first results. And after a full year, it promises Siddhi, which is the complete achievement of whatever success you are aiming for. So what does all of this mean for us today, in our crazy modern world? Let's bring this ancient hymn right into the present and talk about why it's still so relevant.
When you get right down to it, this chant is really a powerful psychological tool. Seriously, you could use it to center your thoughts before a huge meeting, or to find some clarity when you're totally stuck on a project, or maybe just to build up your own resilience when you're going through a tough time. By focusing on these names, you're pretty much meditating on all the different ways to overcome obstacles. You're clearing out the internal junk so you can handle the external challenges.
The power really is in those 12 names. Just think of each one as a different key on a keychain, and each key unlocks a different part of your own inner strength. It's like a complete toolkit for building resilience and clearing whatever path you need to clear.
And this final phrase from the text, Sarva Siddhim Prabhu, just perfectly wraps up the ultimate promise. It's basically a declaration, saying, all success is achieved, O Lord. It means that through this practice, the potential for every kind of success gets unlocked. It's just a statement of profound faith in the whole process. So that leaves us with one final thing to think about. In our world, right now, with notifications and deadlines and just constant distractions pulling our attention every which way, what is the real power of